What do you think the greatest leadership lesson has been during your career that you want other people to take away with them?
Well, my greatest leadership lesson, I learned very quickly that it's really important to find out if people do these things, you will get great results. Well, my greatest leadership lesson is purposeful recognition. Okay, and I learned very, very quickly that it's really important to find out, what are the big dynamics, okay, that really what behaviors drive your business? What are the key things that if people do these things, you will get great results, okay? Well, define what they are. In our business, we define them as believing in all people, being customer maniacs, positive energy, recognition. We had a number of different things, okay, that were really critical to really making a restaurant company go.
Hey, really quick, do you want to hear something crazy? Over 96% of the people who watch these videos on this channel are not subscribed. Why don't we fix that? If you want to get access to more awesome videos just like this one, make sure to hit subscribe so you'll get notified when they get released.
And so what I did was basically create a culture where we recognize the heck out of all those behaviors. Not just me, but everybody else in the company. And when you do that, guess what happens? People do more of it. If people know you're looking for innovation, you're going to get innovation. If people know that deadlines are important to you, if you're in engineering and being on budget's important and that's a key behavior, then guess what? Okay? If you recognize people who do that, you'll make sure that people do it. I think that purposeful recognition is really, really key. So, I learned about recognition and the power of it through Bob. Okay, but what really differentiated what I did and how I implemented recognition is I tied it to the behaviors that were absolutely critical to the success of the business.
I love it.
When you do that, your recognition is purposeful. You just don't, you're not just recognizing people to be a good guy. You recognize people for purpose.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think that's a tremendous lesson. And you're right. It's not just about recognizing people, but it's recognizing them for something specific that aligns with kind of the behaviors that you're looking for. Well, let's talk a little bit about coaching. I'm assuming throughout your career, you've had to do a lot of self-coaching to kind of get to where you are. And a lot of people, as you talk about, they can't afford to, or they don't have access to a coach. And sometimes you got to be your own coach. Right. Can you talk a little bit about what does that mean? How does that work? I mean, where do you begin even with being your own coach?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I do my own podcast, Jacob. It's called How Leaders Lead with David Novak, and I interview all kinds of CEOs and leading sports figures like Tom Brady and Steve Kerr and different people in that domain as well. And the interesting thing is, everybody I interview has high self-awareness. Okay? And I think that self-awareness that they have, okay, has made them really good self-coaches because they realize what their strengths are and they play to them, and they realize what their areas of opportunities are, and they make sure that they don't derail themselves by not learning what they need to learn to make sure that they're at least competent in that particular area. And so I think that self-coaching really starts with the conversation that you have to have with yourself. You got to ask yourself key questions. What are your strengths? What are your areas of opportunities? What gives you joy? What's your joy builders? What's your joy blockers? Figuring that out, figuring out what your single biggest thing is. Envisioning what destination that you really want to go towards. But that all starts with this high self-awareness of what makes you tick. And so what we've tried to do in this book, and I teamed up with a sports performance coach, Jason Goldsmith, who worked with Jason Day and Justin Rose and helped them become number one in the world in golf. And he's one of my best friends. what we've tried to do is give people the tools and exercises and thought processes they can use so that they can have that kind of conversation with themselves, so that they can, really develop an action plan that will help them achieve the single biggest thing that will help them transform their life and their career. And so, the critical thing, though, to answer your question, going back to the beginning, is you got to have high self-awareness.
Yeah.